All right, Broncos country, looks like we are live, but you guys know the drill by now. We've got to let the stream breathe for just a second here and make sure that everything is nice and stable all across the YouTube platform. Welcome in, Broncos country, to this Denver Broncos Syndicate pregame show. I'm your host, Gage Madrid, as your Denver Broncos, sitting at 9-2, are set to take on the Washington Commanders, who sit at 3-8. After 2 long weeks, it is finally game day here in Broncos country. We've got Kim in the house asking if Pat Surtain is back tonight. Yes, he is, and so is Alex Singleton. So a big-time boost for this Broncos defense. They'd been playing well without both of those players, and now that they're in the lineup again, this defense is probably going to take their game to the next level. We've got Garrett saying, yes, PS2 is back. Kim saying, Gage the Real Madrid. I love that. All right, guys, so while we let some more people start streaming on in here, be sure to smash that like button as well as subscribe and ring the bell. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country, just like you and me. Additionally, if you want to go above and beyond in supporting the channel, please consider becoming a channel member today. The link is in the description below if you want some extra perks and incentives in exchange for helping me out, helping the channel grow, and helping support the community. David says, back in the hospital again, so have fun, you guys. Love your videos. Keep it up. I hope that it's nothing too serious, David, and hopefully you get out of there soon. So speedy recovery to you, my friend. That absolutely sucks. Guys, the Colts looking to be falling apart, says Devin. Yeah, Indianapolis, they've lost 2 games in a row now. They've lost 3 of their last 4, I believe. So things are not going well right now for the Indianapolis Colts, dropping 1 today to the Houston Texans because they lost and the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Tennessee Titans. Jacksonville is actually now in first place in the AFC South, so Indianapolis is playing for a wild card at this point in time. Things can still change between now and then. The Broncos still face off against the Jacksonville Jaguars, but a big-time shift towards the top of the AFC. We've got Turtle in the house saying LFG already. Seriously, I am ready for this game to start. Cairo asked, any news on Hufanga? Yes. Talanoa Hufanga, he was questionable coming into this game. He popped up on the injury report earlier today with an illness, but he's good to go. He is not listed on the inactive list. The inactive list doesn't yield any surprises, to be honest. Jonah Ellis, Nate Adkins, they're both inactive. Savion Jones, he's inactive as well. So we are going to have Q Robinson up for this game. Jaleel is up for this game. No surprise there. So, yeah, no big surprises on the inactive list. And Talanoa Hufanga is ready to go. We got to win tonight, says Ronnie. We got to beat the Commanders. Absolutely. The Denver Broncos are basically treating every game moving forward as a must-win game. If the Broncos can take care of business in their next 4 games, their final 2 games against division opponents in the Chiefs and the Chargers might not matter. Denver could have the number 1 seed locked up. That's the mindset they need to have. They're coming in fresh off a bye. So is Washington, so it's going to be an even playing field there. But I expect the Broncos to have ironed out some of their kinks, and this Washington defense is not good. They're towards the bottom of the league in almost every statistical category. They struggle in coverage. They blow a lot of assignments. They don't have a very good pass rush. So if the Broncos offense comes out and struggles in this one, I am going to be a little bit concerned. Turtle says, heal up, get better to David. Absolutely. Thoughts out to you, David, and hope you get out of the hospital very, very soon. Good thing Kansas City lost on Thursday. Kind of wish the Raiders beat LA. Yeah, I was hoping for the same thing, just to give Denver a little bit more breathing room. But like I said, as long as the Denver Broncos take care of their own business, none of that is going to matter. I can't wait to watch the Denver D. Absolutely. I am super excited. No, Hufanga is not questionable. Sorry about that, Cairo. And I'm scrolling through the chat here. Don't worry. I haven't made it through the entire chat yet. We've got a lot of interaction in this stream, which I definitely appreciate. So it's just going to take me a second to get to all of the questions. Don't worry. I'm not ignoring you. Rodgers got slammed by Bosa. Nose bloody. Yeah, I saw that. That did not look good, but he got it taped up. He came back into the game, but Steelers offense is not playing well whatsoever. Feels like it's been a while since watching the Broncos play. I'm ready. Let's go Broncos. Yeah, it really has been a while. It's been 2 weeks since they last played against the Chiefs, and it's been 4 weeks since we last streamed a game here on Broncos Syndicate, at least a Broncos game. We've streamed a couple of other games, but we've just now started to started our first stream here in like 4 weeks. So yeah, Rowan in the house, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. We played without key players, got to hold our own and control our destiny. Absolutely. Broncos should treat every game until playoff seeding is sorted out. Absolutely. They need to treat it as a must-win game. Every game of the playoff game. Yeah, there you go. Bye weeks, go for rest. But man, 2 weeks of no Broncos football is torture. Yeah, I agree. Good for rest. 2 weeks torture. I completely agree. How's Bobby Wagner playing? I mean, he's still Bobby Wagner. He's a Hall of Fame player, so mentally he's still very wired and tapped in, but physically you can see some of the decline in production just in terms of his speed and his explosiveness as TJ Watt is limping off the field now for the Steelers. That's not good. How's the weather looking? It's looking a lot better than we initially thought coming into this game. So coming into this game, we kind of thought that it was going to be cold, a little bit snowy, rainy. It seems that the precipitation is going to be a little bit more calm in this one than we anticipated. So it's going to be clear, a little cold, but I don't think the Broncos are going to be fazed by that at all. Bo Nick's season says it's clear and chilly to my knowledge. Exactly. Bears are winning the Super Bowl this season. You heard it here first. I would be very surprised if that happened, but it's on the record, me saying that I don't think it's going to happen right here on this stream. So you can come back and reference this stream if the Chicago Bears do win the Super Bowl. But I'm not sure a young team like that with a second-year quarterback and, quite frankly, still a lot of question marks on the offensive side of the ball. I'm not sure if that team is going to win the Super Bowl. But, hey, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before on here on this channel, and I could be dead-ass wrong here. A win tonight is a massive victory for sure. Like I said, the Broncos are treating every game moving forward as a must-win game. Mariota is playing, and so is McLaurin. And Devin says, Marcus Mariota isn't a bad player. He can be dangerous with his legs. Yes, he can. So with Marcus Mariota in there, the offense doesn't change a whole lot. Schematically, it's still the same thing. It's still a lot of quarterback-designed runs. It's the same Cliff Kingsbury air raid offense. They throw the ball all over the yard. They operate mostly out of the shotgun. So I don't think a whole lot is going to change with Marcus Mariota out there. And that's what we've seen in the 5 games previous to this one that Marcus Mariota has started. You've gotten so much better at this, and it will only get better from here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I strive to get better at what I do each and every single day. So I really take that as a compliment. Thank you so much. Do you know if Mundungus and Bill are doing a pod tonight? Yes, they are. They should be streaming The Neighborhood. But stay here, man. We're a lot cooler than those old motherfuckers. No, just kidding. Go ahead and pick your flavor, man. If you want to go hang out with Mundungus and Bill, that is absolutely cool. It's supporting the overall community, MHRT Network, Broncos Syndicate. We're all attached at the hip, so absolutely. What is the weather for tonight's game? Like I said, it's going to be a little bit cold, but the Broncos shouldn't be fazed by that, and the precipitation seems to be overall cooperative. We might get some light sprinkles, but nothing too crazy that should affect the play on the field. Bo Nick's season says, yay, rain. Let's go, Broncos. Beat the Commanders. Pitt and Bills game is touchy. Yeah, I mean, right now it's 23-7. It's not looking very good for Pittsburgh at this moment. Wild card Colts, thanks Jacksonville. Yes, Jacksonville did us a big favor, and so did Houston. And the way that Houston's playing right now, the quality of the Broncos' win over the Houston Texans is looking better and better. EJ says we should be fine if Talanoa Hufanga can't play tonight. He is going to be able to play tonight. He's not on the inactive list. He was out there for warm-ups, so he is good to go. I'm so excited for this game, man. I want Bo to show the world what he has. We know who he is, but tonight it would be awesome for him to throw 4 touchdowns. I agree, because the national media, they're going to still spew whatever narratives they have, whatever predisposed narrative they have about Bo Nix. So Bo can do whatever he can to shut them up, but Hopefully, he's able to just go out there and do what he needs to do to get the job done and win the game. I would stay, but I have to troll Bill. That's very respectable. That is very respectable. No complaints there. Thank you, Jacksonville. I don't like the Colts very much. Yeah, definitely. That was big-time help for the Denver Broncos. Can I watch the live stream here while I'm watching the game at home? I mean, yeah, you can absolutely watch my stream while you're watching the game. It might be on a little bit of a delay. I don't know if it's going to sync up perfectly, but absolutely. I know a lot of fans do that. I'm going to chill here. Only throwback Broncos gear this season from here on out. Nice. Pat Sertan says Broncos Nation. It's Broncos country, not Broncos Nation. Forgot the Jags played the Titans. Yeah, they did. That was a pretty easy win for them. Yes, the Texans do still have to play the Chiefs. I believe that's next week's game. Exactly. We want Bo to shut up the critics, but at the end of the day, a win is a win, for sure. I don't care how the Denver Broncos get it done. I'm hoping it's not an ugly win like we've seen for a lot of other games this season. I'm hoping that they go out there and they take care of business against a depleted Washington defense that has a real problem with communication. They bust coverage. They don't rush the passer well. It's a bad defense that's toward the bottom of the league in almost every statistical category. So I'm expecting the Broncos offense to come out and play some sound fundamental football for all 4 quarters. If they don't do that, then I'm going to have some serious concerns moving forward. Allen and Herbert's stats are similar to Nick's. Don't know why the media is like that nowadays. Listen, you guys know me. I'm not the biggest stat guy in the world. I prefer to look at the tape, and I do think Bo Nix has shown some of those same flashes that Allen and Herbert did early in their careers. The problem is the predisposed narratives that the media have, they're just not going to shake them. Josh Allen, he was streaky in the first couple of years of his career, but he was still viewed very highly by the media because coming out of Wyoming, it kind of felt like he always had the physical tools. He just had to put it together. Bo Nix, he was limited by the offense at Oregon, and he didn't get a chance to show off his physical tools too often. Those of us that really study the game, we knew what Bo Nix had coming into the NFL, but there's a lot of people out there that don't really look at film. They just regurgitate popular opinions that they hear on the internet, and unfortunately, there are way too many of those people who are given big platforms. That's why I'm glad that I have my own platform here on Broncos Syndicate, and you guys are here listening to my opinions because it really does feel like the national media's opinion just is so skewed 90% of the time. After watching the Ravens on Thursday, I'm not scared of them. Lamar's been playing pretty poorly. I agree. I'm not scared of really anybody in the AFC right now. Every other team in the AFC has shown signs of weakness, and if it has to be in an ugly game, I think the Denver Broncos can come away with a dub against any AFC opponent. We need the Giants to beat the Pats, and we are the number 1 seed. I'm thinking about streaming that game here on Broncos Syndicate. I'm going to see if my ABC station's going to carry it because they didn't carry Monday Night Football last week. So if they do, then I will go ahead and stream that game here on Broncos Syndicate because I do want, obviously, the Giants to win that game, and it does have implications for the Denver Broncos. I want to see R.J. Harvey have that breakout game, even if it's against Washington. This is the caliber of an opponent that I would expect R.J. Harvey to have that breakout game. This Washington defense is not good defending the run or the pass, so we could see R.J. Harvey have some explosive plays both in the run game and the receiving game. I want to see more improvement from Bo in his footwork. We saw that in the last game coming off the mini bye in the Chiefs game. Hopefully, now that they've had more time in the actual bye, we'll see more improved footwork from Bo Nix. That is an excellent point, Bronco fan. In my opinion, the only time I've seen the Broncos play good on both sides of the ball is the Bengals and Dallas game. Tonight is another opportunity to see that. I agree. And what's the common denominator there? Bengals defense, absolute dog crap. Dallas defense at the time was absolute dog crap. They have improved since adding Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson, but this Washington defense, they're playing the exact same way. So this is an opportunity for the Denver Broncos to put together a complete game. We need to click early and establish the run. Bo can sling it. Just need to see it all come together, for sure. Ugly Mug says, let's go Broncos. Carolina Rams game is my favorite so far today. That was a really good game. Turtle says, exactly. Would like to see Evan Ingram's number get called tonight. I would like to see that too. And the Broncos only have 2 active tight ends for this game. Evan Ingram and Adam Troutman. Nate Atkins, he's inactive, and they were out of elevations for Mercedes Lewis. They decided not to promote him full-time to the active roster. So Evan Ingram might get a little bit more work tonight. And I also anticipate we might see a little bit more Little Jordan Humphrey at tight end for the Denver Broncos. Let's go over the keys to victory. We went over this in the game preview that we put out yesterday. As always, we've got to stay healthy, especially when you're playing on, I still call it FedEx Field. It's now called Northwest Stadium. But whenever you're playing on the Commanders field, you're always at risk of injury. It's a crappy field. And thankfully, we're not going to have any rain or anything crazy like that tonight that can make the field conditions even worse. But still, you've got to wear the right cleats and make sure your footing isn't going to be a problem in this game. Gorilla Glue kind of night? Nice. I do love me some Gorilla Glue. I have some Zope, Z-O-A-P. Cross between Skittles and soap. Really delicious stuff. Sweet, fruity, and a little bit gassy at the end. Yum, yum, yum. Absolutely love it. Can D's Nutsman get a sack next week? D-Rock in the house, good to see you. Hope you were doing well. We already talked about take advantage of this bad Commanders defense. Try to establish the ground game. And I know that Sean Payton, he likes to rotate his personnel at running back, but this would be a good game for him to settle down and ride the hot hand. If it's Jaleel, it's Jaleel. If it's Bidet, it's Bidet. If it's Harvey, it's Harvey. I don't really care who it is. I just want the Denver Broncos to ride the hot hand at running back and not swap out the running backs too frequently. I understand on third down, you're going to bring in Tyler Bidet because he is your third down back. But on first and second down, I kind of want them to stick with whichever running back is running the ball well. Take the play action shots when they're available downfield. I'm really glad that there's not going to be a lot of rain in this game because Bo Nix kind of struggled in his last game playing in the rain. That was the Jets game last year. So I think the passing game, as long as it stays dry, should roll throughout the entirety of the game. We already talked about Bo Nix in the rain last week. I had that as a key point, but it seems that's not going to be a big thing in this one. On our defense, we need to collapse the pocket from the interior. We can't let Marcus Mariota escape out the back door. If he does, that's when he can make some plays with his legs. As this Steelers and Bills game is wrapping up right now, 26-7 was never really close. So now the Buffalo Bills improved to 8-4, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, they fall to 6-6, and they might be in danger of their first losing season in the Mike Tomlin era. EJ says, hope RJ Harvey can have a big game tonight. Like I said, I don't care who it is. I just want one of our running backs to stand out and have a big day out there. Reddit mod detected. Gotta be honest, not a big fan of Reddit. I use a lot more social media platforms than Reddit. Like I use Twitter, I use Instagram. Never been big on Reddit. I don't know why. Whenever Deebo Samuel goes outside, he plays in the slot and he plays outside. But whenever he goes to the outside, I would actually put Pat Surtain on him and follow a similar game plan as they did with the Dallas Cowboys when they had George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. Put Pat Surtain on the number 2 and then double team Terry McLaurin with Riley Moss and a safety over the top. So I think that's how they're going to approach it whenever Deebo goes outside. When he's in the slot, it's going to be Jaquan taking care of him. I will proudly own that title. I am a football nerd, and I think everybody here in this chat can attest to it. I will gladly own that title. Deron Payne can be a nuisance too if we aren't careful, for sure. For sure. Their interior defensive line has struggled at points, but Deron Payne, they have Javon Kinlaw there as well, Johnny Newton. If they get going, they can definitely cause some problems on that part of the field. We'll have to see if Luke Wattenberg, Alex Palczewski, and Quinn Miners can hold up. I'm not worried about Quinn Miners, but the former two, I am a little bit worried about at times. Jay says, reporting live from FedEx Field, sick, absolutely sick. Can we finally get a turnover? Yeah, that would be ideal. The Broncos, the one shortcoming for their defense this year is they haven't been generating a lot of turnovers. This would be a prime opportunity for them to get that corrected. EJ asks if Jonah Ellis is playing tonight. Unfortunately, he is not. So Q Robinson is going to step into an elevated role. So is Dondre Tillman. The one guy who's been getting turnovers on this defense has actually been Dondre Tillman. So who knows? We could maybe see another one in this one. I'd also love to see more Justin Sternad. Even though Alex Singleton is making his return from his surgery and his health situation, again, he's a warrior and he's a badass for doing so, but he still is a liability in coverage. We've got to call a spade here. So Justin Sternad seeing more snaps on passing downs makes sense. Singleton is an excellent run defender. That's something he still does an extremely high level. So I would keep Singleton out there on early downs, but maybe consider taking him off the field on later downs in favor of Justin Sternad, who showed a lot of flashes in that Kansas City game, and he's shown a lot of flashes over the course of the entire season. I hope we've cleaned up the penalties because it's getting ridiculous. Yeah, that's been a big problem for this team, a lack of discipline. Some of the penalties have been ticky-tack. Some of them have been a product of crappy officiating, but still, it's something the Broncos need to clean up. Would like to see Savion Jones get some reps if we're leading. He is unfortunately on the inactive list. I would also like to see him get some snaps as the season goes on. It appears that the Broncos are going to be moving on from John Franklin Myers. And it looks like Savion Jones next season is going to be that JFM replacement. Will Savion be able to step into that role without playing much as a rookie? Riley Moss did in his sophomore season, but I would love to see him get some more action as the season goes on. Jammin says, yo, Gage, Bronx thin or thin brother, thick or thin brother? Absolutely. Absolutely, man. This is going to be a big-time game and a big-time opportunity for the Denver Broncos. We've ridden with this team through the thick and the thin, and now it's really starting to get fun covering this team, man. My first year covering this team was 2022. That was the Nathaniel Hackett year. It was absolutely miserable. I'm glad I stuck with it, and this has become a dream job. Thank you to every single one of you who has made this possible. We're going to go ahead and wind this stream down, guys. I predicted the Denver Broncos to win this game 23-10. I factored in the weather with that prediction. I'm going to stick with it, but it wouldn't surprise me if the weather stays cooperative throughout this game, if Denver pulls away and this becomes more of a wide margin blowout. But let me know your score prediction in the chat below, Broncos country. I would love to hear from you as always. The refs are shaving points for sports betting. If the Broncos clinch early enough, we may see Savion get some run. Exactly. I'm thinking in those last couple of games where Savion Jones, he might have an opportunity to potentially get a start even in that finale against the Chargers. But we've got to take care of our business. We can't look ahead to that until Denver has that number one seed locked up. We got Ghost Dancer. No trap. Take care of business. Absolutely. EJ says, go Broncos 32-14. Again, guys, let me know your score predictions in the chat below. While you do that, please be sure to leave a like on this stream as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. Additionally, if you want to go above and beyond in supporting the channel, please consider becoming a channel member today. The link is in the description below if you want some extra perks and incentives in exchange for helping me out, helping the channel grow, and helping improve the production quality of this content. We've got Photo Appeal says 21-17 Broncos, Roan 24-10, Dom 28-14, Bronco Fan 27-14. So I think we're all in agreement that it's going to be a Denver Broncos victory. They just got to take care of business. It's that simple. If the Denver Broncos take care of business, they should win this game, and they should win this game by multiple scores. Again, guys, we will be going live for this game. I believe I set it for 6:10 Mountain Time, so hope you guys can join me for the game stream. They are always a blast here on Broncos Syndicate. And until then, guys, I'm your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.